Alrighty, let's jump into this week's Build and Chill. Once again, we're going to be continuing with our storefront. Today I'm going to probably focus on building some more assets to sort of throw around. So like folded clothes, maybe a hoodie to put up in one of the areas. So there's basically stuff to do. So yeah, let's jump in. Oops. I always forget something. One moment. There we go. Much better. So as you can see, this is where we're at from last week. So we have our sort of up view there and across the view there. I still don't know why that one has a slightly different color. Like it has the same plastic material. Yeah, so I'm not really sure why that one, so I'll have to look into that at some point. But apart from that, it's definitely looking like a store. So yeah, we're going to look at sort of assets that we can put in here. And in here, and in here. So we need to look at the size of that. Now we can probably do that in Blender. General store, I believe. Is the t-shirt in here? Did I actually... Actually, another thing I do want to do is sort of to add a door. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 2 here. So how am I going to do this one actually? Control R and put that in there. I can get rid of that one. Let's get rid of these two. No. Well, let's join them first. And then we can get rid of that edge loop. Oh no, we've got that for use. That one. Right. Now I forget if that's too tall. So let's do this. I'm gonna duplicate that. Oh, we can do that. Let's do that. So sort of like a 2. Yeah, that works. So this is your entrance here, sort of thing. That'd be kind of cool. And just for the sake of if we add any material, because that would look terrible, I'm just gonna go Smart UV project. Rotate that and embiggen. That should be cool for that element. So export that. Where are I? Yep. No. This one. And that was Storefront. Storeframe. I think that's it. Sure. Yeah. Maybe a bit wider. Yeah, we'll figure that out when we get the scale right. So the next thing we need to do is... That's the seating, so it's not that. That's not that. So the t-shirt's in another thing, but we need this. So let's use that as a reference point to make some more. There we go. Maybe up there. Let's do a hoodie. Now the thing is, like, do we make a pile? Do we make one and then stack that, or do we make piles of more than one? That is a tricky one. Or we could do three different types. I think 3 different types is a good way to go. But then we can't control colors as much, so that's a bit... Yeah, it's an interesting one. Well, let's just do one as a pile of 3. Maybe 4. 3? 3 thick pieces, or 4... Maybe that one. Alright. That fits in there neatly. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Clothes, stack. Alright, let's get some elements in there to... Now we may sculpt this and then re-topologize it once it's done. So I'm not too worried about the poly count in this case so far. And those... These can go out a little bit. How does this work? So I've got folds. Okay, let's do this. How does folding? I need some reference. Piled clothes in a store. Okay. This is good. This is not good. Kind of like that, I guess. Yeah, no, that's a bit too random. Be more like this, I think. Sort of what we're after. Just need that with t-shirts. How is that so neat and these ones not? How does that work? Maybe you actually want that because, like, it seems more real. So, yeah, not too sure. No. I need, like, sides and stuff, though. That's the problem. They're all on one angle. Or jeans. Alright. There's enough to sort of go on. And in that case, we actually need a little bit more here, but I could probably do that in the sculpt. An arrow. So adding edge loops with Control R. Use that quite a lot. And then right mouse click to put it in the center because you have that control. One to go to vertex. Hey, rock and roll, how's it going? Sorry I missed your message, I was too busy referencing. How are you going today? Okay. Cool. Let's add a few in here just so it's the sculpt is a bit more normal. Nice. Did you get your what do you call it, Portal Hub challenge in? Did you get that? I think we're good to start. Yeah, that'll do. So let's export that to assets. We've got models, we've got clothes, and we've got clothes stack. One. All right. So that's that, and that we're going to ZBrush. Now, of course, Blender does have sculpting, and it's free. But I've used ZBrush for a lot longer, so I'm probably a bit better at it and can more comfortably use that. Unfortunately, Maxon has bought them and changed everything, so eventually I'll probably start looking at sculpting in Blender. Oh no! Oh well. Next time. Yeah, ZBrush is great. I'm a big fan. I've been using this for a very long time. And they were there at the start. Like, they began... If it wasn't for ZBrush, we wouldn't have sculpting, I don't think. Or maybe we would, but yeah, ZBrush sort of started all of it. And it's amazing, but yeah. All right. Now these three that I've done, hotkey 1, hotkey 2, hotkey 3, those are custom. So I've actually grabbed all of these buttons from elsewhere that I use, and then I make the hotkey 1, 2, and 3. So most of my tools are basically here, which is super useful. All right. Time to get... Yeah, no, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. That said, it's also very expensive, and I think Maxon have gone... Yeah, it's Maxon have made things difficult with the... I think it's like most companies. So ZBrush, I bought it a long time ago for $300 or $400 on sale because I was working on one of their competitions that they were doing, and yeah, basically I've had it free since. So they have updated it non-stop for free, which is great and excessive. Like, even I will say that ZBrush were, like, as a business method, it wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was great for the customers. So I've still got 2022, and I think I had version like ZBrush 3 or something, so it wasn't even using years. That said, Maxon have recently bought them, and they're using a more standard approach to cost. So I think they're actually doing a subscription model, which I hate. How do I... Where's symmetry? Not on that axis. Rotate? Nope. Is it different symmetries? Alright, let's try something else. This one... Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That said, Blender's sculpting tools are definitely picking up. And, yeah, it's getting, maybe not as good, but it's definitely getting up there. So if I was looking into a sculpting tool now, and I didn't already own ZBrush, I would probably be looking at Blender. Now, because this is cloth, I can actually make this kind of rough. Like, I'm okay with that. But you can always use shift to sort of soften. And a lot of these translate to Blender a little bit. I haven't used it enough to sort of understand what Blender Tools is, but there's benefits also to using Blender, because the assets you make are, like, a lot of the, like, I will not use ZBrush for poly modeling. So if I'm making an asset, I will actually start in Blender, and then if I need to sculpt it, I'll bring it into ZBrush. But I've watched some like tutorials or reviews or comparisons. I guess comparison is a good one. Where someone was making a tool in just in Blender, and they actually sort of basically said that because everything's in Blender, so you can model really easily. Where is it? There it is. There are benefits to just doing it in Blender. So the sculpting tools aren't as good, sure, but because your modeling tools and everything else is in Blender, that actually benefits that sort of throw. So it's pretty cool. So pros and cons to every method, as always. Just thinking on things what I should have done, now that I've thought about it, is make one asset and then just multiply that. So I should have just, oh well. Maybe I could do that anyway. Hang on. Is it this one? Control Shift. No, not that way. That way. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And Blender can do things that you don't even think it can do. Like, it can do video editing. It's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna save this. And then try my second approach. Where am I? Okay, so I'm going to delete lower. Yeah, I'll delete higher, and then try that again. No. Nope. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to remesh that. Remesher. Same. Yep, cool. And let us continue. Now what I'd like to do is sort of put, this is going to be a t-shirt set, so I'm going to actually sort of put an object shape here. I could actually do that with a separate object, so let me do that. Nope. Need high polygons. Nope. Not that. This one. That's the one I want. There we go. Nope. I'll figure it out in a second. That one. Well, that's the thing. I'm hoping to make the asset material really good, so whoever gets the space can sort of put whatever they want on it. Dragons included. go. Alright, so let's extract that, I think it is. Yep, nope. Try that again. Extract. Accept. Okay. Then we can poly count. Where's that one? Group. Group. Masked. Yep. That's what we want. No, we don't. That's what we want. Okay. Turn that off. Unmask that. Remesher. Same. Maybe half. Put this on so we can see it. What? It's not halving. There we go. Doesn't like that one. Freeze groups? See what that does. Does not like that one. Alright. So yeah, very useful tool. I used to do a lot more character work with this, so if you're doing characters, like ZBrush is a must. If you're doing environments, then it's a maybe. But anything organic is, yeah, you need sculpting now. Because, yeah, just because. Alright, so the interior is done. Let's move it smaller. Well, yeah, that's the main purpose of ZBrush is organic. So, if you're making an environment like a building or something, you wouldn't sculpt it at all. You just use the normal modeling approaches, and Blender is great for that. But if you're doing humans or like sculptures or statues, things like that, yeah, ZBrush is pretty much the only way to go now. Well, sculpting, sorry. I do not want to assume that ZBrush is the only way to do it. There are other tools that do sculpting as well. I think 3D Coat does sculpting. It's not bad. But yeah, ZBrush was here from the beginning, so they're very, very good at what they're doing. I just wish they weren't bought by Maxon, to be honest. It's kind of an unfortunate occurrence. But yeah. So yeah, I'll be learning more Blender sculpting one day. Alrighty. Now, where is my reference? Put that over on this screen. Now I'm still trying to figure out if I want to make one shirt and then pile them on, so I use prefabs and then sort of do a bunch, or I create piles. I think piles might be better. Just because. And have like 3 different piles of clothes. So one sort of big, one sort of small, and one. And then make patterns or groups of those sizes. I think that will be a good way to do it. So that's going to be my approach. Wrong way. Now, once again, this is a normal, so I don't have to worry about... I think I just have to consider how it'll project rather than... So that's kind of an interesting approach to a lot of this, really. We want that out once again so you can see that normal map bump. Alright, that'll do. Okay, what else do we need? Reference. Right. Be more creasing, I think, is needed. Make it a bit bigger. Yeah, that's better. Keep that going. Now, yeah, that's better. Flatten that out a bit. Maybe push that in. Oops. Okay, cool. Where else can we push some creasing? Yep, that looks good. Oops. I think we got some cool things we could put in the bottom here, so it's sort of like yeah, that looks good. Does that move? What? Why is that doing weird things? Let's put this on. This will probably make things a little bit... Oh, it is. Is it? No. So usually... Let's do what... Oh, there we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. So we want to put that back to 0.5. Interesting. Didn't know you could do that. I guess that was 0.05 then. Radius 2. 1, I think that was. Oh. It's cloth. It can be messy. I should have done the symmetry on this one. Oh well. I'll remember next time. Yeah. Straight lines are hard. There we go. All right. I think that's good. Need some more of that sort of stuff. So let's make it big. And maybe down here. Alright. Issue is these are a bit short, so I might square them up a bit. See how that goes. I'm going to put X on for these ones. And if need be, I could probably adjust these a little bit after I bake it, so I can make this as kind of as square as I want, but I think that's good. Cool. Now I do feel as a t-shirt, there needs to be something here. This is very precise kind of stuff. So I feel like I should add. It's going to be tricky, actually. Yep, let's get that one. Oh. It's gonna be kind of tricky. The other option is I just get another asset and put that in there and make manually. I'm not too sure. Alright, I think that should do, actually, I think. A bit of flavor. Cool. Alrighty. So the question is, actually no, I'm gonna clean up the this bit a bit. See if I can do anything interesting with that. Let's divide that a little bit more. Yeah. Once again, we want that sort of normal map edge, so that's got to be as dark as possible. So we can sort of do that neatly when we bake. Now, I'm not too sure about this. And if that's going to work well. So we can clean that up a little bit. Actually, that's not bad. I'm going to keep doing that. And then we can move that out a little bit on the back there, and I think that'll be much better than it was anyway. And the next thing we want is maybe just a little bit of creasing or shaping on that. So let's see what we can do with that. Maybe a bit bigger. Oh, you can see that it is there. Let's put it up to 5. Let's put it up to 20. There we go. That was the one we needed. So it just gives you a little bit more control. It's kind of what we need. Once again, mostly worried about the normal map more than anything else, so that should be fine. Let's just go with that. I think a normal would be good. Not too worried about that. But I might smooth that out a little bit, because... just because. Okay. Cool. We have our t-shirt. Now I could decimate and try and clean that up as much as possible before I put it back into Blender, but I don't think we need to because it's not that heavy. But if I was doing a character or something with like millions of polygons, then I would probably decimate quite a bit before that. So... visible, export, close stack, and this is hi. Alrighty, so let's give that a shot and see what that looks like. So I'm going to keep that for now. Import the one we just made. For the store. So it's like stacking on here and stuff. So basically background content. So you'll have these ones, which are the ones you would click on and load the Amazon page or the Shopify page or the Printify page. But yeah, these are just to look like a store. Alright. Did I get... No, I did not. Do I join them? Like, what's... Visible all. That's the one. We'll try that. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! I lost it. Oh, that's not very friendly. Dang it. Okay, let's try. I don't think it's going to work. What? No, didn't work. Well, that's annoying. Oh well. Save before saving. I just lost the bit at the top there, so I'm gonna have to redo that. Which is a little bit annoying, I must admit. I've also lost the division, so lost a little bit there, but not the end of the world. I'm gonna save that. As to okay, what do we need? We need that. We need my graphic tablet again, and try again. This time we can do it better. Yeah. Okay. It's a little big. 0.1. Better. Now, if that's... Yeah, it is. Cool. We can remesh again. Where is that? Half. Keep groups. Keep groups. Which part of keeps groups don't you get? Better. There we go. Is it halving them? There we go. Yeah, that's the one. And then we can just modify it a bit. A bit smaller, maybe. All right. Now we can divide. This way, if we have any sort of modifying that we need to do, we can do it at a lower and then put it up in the higher. So there's like a lot of benefits to that sort of approach. As needed. Like so. So here, for example, we can sort of move that up, but we also need to move that down. Alright. Good thing it crashed, because this is a lot neater. Now, let's save this. More regularly. Actually, there is probably autosave in ZBrush, so I could have used that, but no. Let's try something. Which one is it? Which one does the thing? Not that one. Ah! No, redo. That one. That's what we want. Let's sort of do that. And a little more. Cool. And then we can use this one. Hey Fractilians, how's it going? Nice. Yeah, that'll be good. Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I was seeing that you can do that. I'm kind of tempted to have a look at it. I'm making wearables that no one can wear, so there's that. This is ZBrush. So I probably wouldn't recommend it because they're sort of following the Adobe because they just got bought by Maxon. So Blender does do sculpting, it's just not as good as ZBrush. So I'll be getting the latest version before, or maybe I'll just stop because I don't trust Maxon, and I'll just make it so like it automatically purchases the next update or something stupid like that. So I'm not too sure, but yeah. Pre-Maxon ZBrush was amazing. Like, I've got every update since I bought ZBrush 3 for free. And now Maxon's like nearly Adobe subscription model, which is upsetting a lot of people. That said, ZBrush, like, Pixelogic, the company, yeah, they were too nice. They gave way too many free updates. So, I think from a developer's perspective, they should have asked for more. But from a creator's perspective, it was great. Yeah, no, definitely. So, like, I don't know, every 3 years, maybe they could ask for an upgrade price. And they can make it cheap. But a lot of people are using ZBrush, so $100 times a lot of people is a lot of money. Alright, so I'm going to save this again and again. And then I'm going to merge these two. And then I won't have that issue of what I had before. So, how do I do... Combine, clip, blah, 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 split? No. Where's geometry going? Ah, down there. How do I join things again? How do I join things again? Merge. Merge visual. There we go. Okay, we have our t-shirt. And then we can use this again. Where is it there? Export. Close stack high. Yes. Yes, so the store is kind of already made. Where is it there? So currently building the store, and this asset is sort of going to be filling the places like these up. So that's that. But yeah, there's 100% a store in Mono. This one. I'm thinking or trying to get... So, a lot of Mona is very focused around like the NFT culture, which is fine. I think there's definitely a market to be had there, but it's also like we could make so many more things. We could make sort of blog pages where you can go hang out with your users. You can make stores and buy stuff. You can make like basically anything. So it's kind of like I see Mona as more of a Web3 activity, so I can go to a website and do stuff. Yeah. Yes. So in this goal, well, it could be anything. So this one I'm designing to be real. So if where is it? And I'll probably make one myself. So say for example, if I go up to here and click on this, it would load up a website where I could buy that t-shirt. Or an NFT, or whatever. So it's up to the owner of the space and what they want to put there. but I think, yeah, should be cool. Just adding a bit more options to the Mona space purposes. Right, so let's rotate. Which way? That way. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's what do we want to do? So we're gonna duplicate some of these, I guess. This is gonna get very heavy very quickly. Maybe I should. Yeah. It'll be fine. Oh, really? Have you seen any real-world examples? And if so, can you get me the link? I'd be interested to see what people are doing. Okay, what does that look like? Perfect. That looks great. Excellent. Alright, let's get rid of some of these. Okay. Well, even when. Yeah, it actually looks better than I expected on a stack. So I'm happy about that. Now the next thing is we're just going to sort of mess it up a bit, basically. Actually, I'm going to add 2 in here. So I can do that as well. Yeah, appreciate it. Should always check out what the competition / cooperations. I don't know. Metaverse is an interesting place. So yeah, just re-topologizing basically the high poly so we can bake it onto the low poly. So depending on how much of a change your asset makes in the high poly process, this could be quite quick or quite long, depending. So as it stands, this is pretty quick, which is great. And we sort of create that experience. Yeah, so it depends on the asset that you're creating. Also, how much detail you want to put in there. So in this case, I'm probably going to leave it low on the grounds that there's probably going to be a lot of these with different colors and whatnot. So yeah, it's a case of optimizing everything. Yeah, I can't, like, my experiences with Decentraland haven't been great. And even with the low poly, it seems like I'm uncomfortable. I actually get uncomfortable playing it. I'm not sure why. I think the frame rate's just too low or something. It's a bit weird. But yeah, so if I start making wearables for Decentraland, it's purely because I want the money or something. I'm not sure. That one, got to come back in here. Is there any other? No, they're all pretty close. Cool. That said, I've always kind of been like, make for the best thing. So like things like Unreal and whatnot. So Mona's good because like you do need to know more to make something really good, but like Mona does allow you to make really good things. So if you have the skills, you can actually really push it. But Decentraland, not so much. Yeah, it's just no. Does it allow normal maps? Like, is normal maps a thing in Decentraland? And I think that's the difference. Like that's the benefit of having so many different people getting in the metaverse, is everyone does something slightly different. So some allow you high quality, but at a cost of, yeah, you have to know what you're doing to do it. But like some with Decentraland is like you basically aim for low and it'll be fine. So everyone has their own pros and cons. So it's just a case of finding the one that works best for you, I think. Yeah. So it's interesting. A journey for everybody. I think it's going to be really interesting when like we have like the hardcore game designers coming into the space and then just destroying all of us. Because like, especially the old schools, because like people from like Unreal Tournament 1, which I did develop, I modded for, so I'm not really a professional, but I did build on it. A lot of the things that we have to do to sort of make things work and look good from, like, let's say, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. So there's a lot of that sort of stuff coming to the front of my knowledge in regards to how do you make a good space work with the limitations we have? And it's kind of interesting. So I find it quite interesting because like all of the things I've learnt over the years are actually useful still. But if you look at Unreal 5, like now, like with nanite technology and all that stuff, it just does everything for you. Yeah, Neon Glitch is solid, and that's the thing. So his space was really good, but unless I don't know how well it works on low ends on lower end systems, for example. It might be okay, but I think like it slows down a little bit on mine. So on a low end system, that might not, his latest one anyway, might not be the best, but it runs fine on my system, for example. So there's definitely elements of optimization, and that's an amazing space. Like that has all of the bells and whistles on it. So like the rain looks amazing and all that sort of stuff. Oops. But yeah, it's just finding that sweet spot between what looks amazing and optimized to run really well. So, for example, Neons will not work in VR. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that now. But that said, most of the spaces will not work in VR. At least in, like a standalone, like Quest 2 sort of thing, because, one, you need a minimum, like, 90 frames a second for a good VR experience. Otherwise, like, even I would get sick, and I don't get sick. And then there's the fact that it kind of has to render everything twice, because you've got one for each eye. Now, a lot of the game engines are doing some cool stuff with how to do that at lower quality, not lower quality, at lower performance, I guess? No, not lower performance. Costing less performance. Right. Yeah, so if you're a game developer, you have a serious advantage with any of the spaces. And then you have the architects coming in, and they, unfortunately, they don't even know the language. So I've been having interesting, what would you call it, translation sessions with Treeple, for example. So he comes from an architecture background, and he's using language that, like, I don't know, because, one, I'm not an architect. So just sort of getting the computer language with the architectural language with CAD. AutoCAD, that's the one. So that's, like, it's all learning curve. So it's interesting. But yeah, the scope of, like, web-based accessible experiences really adds a whole lot to who can get involved. But yeah, there are some learning curves. I'll say that much. I don't know if this is really boring to watch. It's a bit zen. Like, a lot of people sort of hate topology, but, like, I actually don't mind it. Like, it feels kind of like a puzzle. This is my Wordle. And I hate Wordle. I have a friend that is like, as soon as I see his post on his daily Wordle, is like, that's when I get off Facebook. And nowadays it's not very long. So it's great. A little bit, yeah. Unwrapping is still a bit of a pain, but it's not as much as it used to be, I guess. Okay, so that's the front done. That's pretty cool. Let's get rid of them for a sec. See what it looks like. Probably move them in a bit. Yeah, that's fine. If I do this, there we go. Once again, the silhouette is the most important thing, and I kind of like that it's rough. Like, that's good in this case. Yeah. Ah. What's wrong with my shoulder lately? I'm gonna figure out that. Alright, let's put them back on. And top end. Okay, so we need a little more. Nope. Yep. Got 3 there. Do I want 3 there? Kinda. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, very, very zen vibes, which is kind of cool. And we can all do with some zen. Nice. UFO wearable. Like, is it like a hat that looks like a UFO that you can fly around in? If you can't fly in it, it's not a UFO. I think working in so I'm assuming Far Out Murals is like a brand, like a proper brand, right? So I think making wearables and like assets for brands would be kind of cool. I don't know why, but it just seems kind of cool. So I'd like to do like photogrammetry for like a Nike shoe, or like t-shirts for Billabong or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let's move these around a bit more, I think. Yeah, there we go. Like driving an official, a Lamborghini Aventador in the metaverse, but it's an official, would be kind of cool. So enjoy that, because that'd be cool. Oh, nice, excellent. Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting scope for metaverse and real world stuff. Like, if you had a concert, for example, like a famous DJ, and then managed to somehow connect the DJ actions. So I'm playing around with making a VR DJ deck that hooks in with Tractor. So basically Unity hooks in with the MIDI, which means you can control Tractor. So I'm sort of playing around with that because I'd be interested to just see that working, and then actually creating that to work in a metaverse space somehow. That'd be really cool. Nice. Yeah, that's taken off as well. Like the last year or so, we've seen so many what do they call them, VTubers, and some of them, like, what is it? Oh, what's her name? I don't know if she's doing it yet, but she showed her latest avatar, one of the really big ones. What's it called? What's like the biggest VTuber? What's her name? But her new avatar looks amazing, and I think it's in Unreal 5, and it just looks really good. Oh, what's the name? That's gonna bother me. Not Pokemon, because she's a normal one. I gotta figure it out now. It's annoying. Hang on. Well, a lot of VTubers are Japanese, actually. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. Unreal VTubers. What's her name? What's her name? Grr. No, not her. Kodamiko, that's the one. So Kodamika's new avatar looks insane. Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the thing that VR, I think, will be able to shine, and they're starting to do it a little bit, but once again, education pretty much everywhere is bunk. But eventually, once they realize that, like, you know, blackboards aren't cool, VR will be able to do some really, really good stuff, like having history where you can actually go to the pyramids and see it getting built, and going quantum and like understanding how quantum works and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's going to be really good. But unfortunately, once again, education just isn't a priority for, I don't know, anyone who like can actually make any changes to it. So I'm kind of annoyed. Very frustrated with education everywhere. In Japan it's really bad because they focus so much on tests. So it's not so much learning, it's about memory. So all the tests are like, here's the answers, memorize them. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Yeah, VR chat also has some very bad things in it. VR chat is very much a mixed bag. That said, once again, it's cool. Like, of all of the spaces, like the social spaces, I'd say VR chat's up there. But depends on where you go. But yeah, certainly interesting. Yeah. But the same with all technology, like there's, like it's good and bad at exactly the same time. Every technology, I think, has that element where basically it's the best thing and the worst thing. So like nuclear energy, for example, is like, that's pros and cons. Like everything, unfortunately, has that sort of element to it, unfortunately. Because humans are stupid. Here's this great thing. Okay, let's make something bad with it. I don't get it. It's weird. Humans are weird. Yeah, it's one of the frustrating things of technology, and unfortunately, and this is the thing, a lot of a lot of the technology we have comes from really negative things. I think CDs are a prime example of, like, that was originally a war thing. That said, like, I don't know. I think what I would love to see is every country has to switch their military and education budget every second year. That's it. So, and that's the only thing that you have to do. So, yeah. So 1 year you'll have your stupid money and all the rest of it, and then the next year, whatever it was, is the budget for education, and parenting, say. So offering resources for everyone to sort of just be better parents, and then, yeah, just, I don't know, it's a random idea I have. Yeah, one thing that blew my mind, and I found this statistic. This blew my mind. What is it? And it's a horrible statistic, but it's just really interesting at the same time. So, America's police budget, like the budget that they have on fitting out the police, is higher than China's military budget. That's just insane. I don't know what to do with that information. Yeah. It also explains, like, America's, like, police, because they are military, like, 100% military. Depending on the state, I'm sure, or the city, or whatever you want to call it. But it's like, yeah, that kind of checks out. So there's your interesting factoid. Terrifying yet interesting factoid for the day. Yeah, when I found that out, I was, like, blown away. Kind of blown away. America's getting to that point where it's like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's other stuff I could say, but I won't, because it's just horrifying. There's better things we could do with our brain space. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because, like, in Australia, we had, like, we did have a shooting a long time ago, and the government at the time said, you know what? No more guns. So you can have a gun in Australia, but the like, it's for hunting, like, to hunt. So you can still hunt, but the gun laws are very strict, and, like, the things you have to do with all of the things are quite strict as well. So what was it? Yeah, your ammo and your gun have to be in separate safes, for example, and, like, always locked up. And you do have to have a license, and they do background checks and all that sort of stuff. So it's all, like, I don't mind it, because, yeah. The problem in America, I think, is that the psychology of guns is, like, my gun, protect myself, all that sort of stuff. We never really had that to work against. And then there's the NRA. And I won't even start on them. So, yeah. Different culture, I think. Yeah, but you're so close to America, right? Yeah, it's all interesting, and every country literally has different but similar problems. So, yeah. Do what we can. I don't think I did, actually. It's news to me. Yeah, for sure. Although it's interesting, because Japan... Like, Japan's weird. Pros and cons. But Japan's... what would you call it? Collective culture. So the social pressures here, if you're Japanese, is crazy high. That said, it's a really easy country to live in. So, yeah, I have to, like, there are some things I just don't have access to here because of, I don't know, it's kind of 20 years behind in certain things, and unfortunately, like, equality is one of them, and that's, like, the worst. So, yeah, there are pros and cons, and that's one of the ones I definitely hate about Japan. They are trying to get better at that, but they're not very good at it. Once again, like, I think that, what do you call it? Yeah, what's it doing? What do you call it? Like, the group that is, like, the governmental group for about women equality is all men. So, that's a prime example of why they're not very good at certain things. But yeah. Yeah, it's a great country to live in, but, like, with some of the directions that I've gone in the last couple of years, certain groups of people are kind of hard to find because, well, they're hard to find anywhere. In Japan, it's just basically impossible. So, yeah, open-minded is not really one of the categories I would consider most Japanese people. Some definitely are. Like, it's definitely, like, that's a generalization, 100%. But, yeah. There's that. So I kind of have to figure out, like, what... It's easy to live here, and what am I willing to give up for that? And I'm not exactly sure. Right. Yeah, when I went to San Francisco, like, specifically for finding just people, it was just really interesting to see the difference in just how people work and how people think and what people do in public. It was quite nice, actually. But, yeah, San Francisco's in America, so there's that. Pros and cons. So basically, regardless of the culture, like the country you're living in, it's a case of what are you willing to put up with in order to have the things you want. And I'm at sort of like a critical point in I guess my life where I have to sort of start figuring that out, and I don't know. The pandemic didn't help, so at the moment I think wherever you are, you should stay until things level out a bit, because everything's very messed up. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Nah, San Francisco was kind of cool. Kind of small. It felt small, which was weird. That said, Osaka feels small as well. Like, it's huge, but it's also small, especially as a foreigner. So as a foreigner in Osaka, like, the community is very small.
like Japan is literally 98% Japanese. So there's a reason they're very Japanese, is they don't need to be anything else. And this is where sort of like there's an element of racism here, but it's not like other countries where like they're actually racist. They just, when 98% of your population is the group that you are, there are just things that don't apply. So it's an interesting sort of element. It's what do you call it? It's an ignorance element, not actively racist thing. So it's kind of an interesting state to be in. And they just don't know. Like they'll say something that is so brutally racist, but also like the way they say it is not like, there's no negativity to it at all. Like, it's literally, this is what I think is true, and it's just like, huh, is that so? So what? Yeah, when you live here, that is one of the things you learn to put up with pretty quick, because if you don't, you have to leave real fast. You will not settle in very well if you can't deal with that. But once again, like in Australia, there is a lot of racism, and it's negative, and you can feel it when it is said. But here it's just like, I don't know, they just don't know. Which is not saying it's bad, but it's, I don't know, not as bad, I guess. And yeah, like, yeah, it's just comes back to pros and cons, every country. But living here is very easy. If you fit in the system, so if the thing you need to do is kind of with the system, it's super fast, super efficient. There's a lot of paper pushers, but they're very good at it. But if you don't fit in the system, if you fall, like if you're out of the cogs that they've got, it's hell. It's a horrible experience. So a lot of like government stuff is really quite annoying. So yeah, there's that. All right, I think mostly done. Yep, nope, that one. Yeah. Yep. Kind of tempted to get rid of those. Like, it's not enough to worry about. Or even those. So it's like, that's important, but these are not, and it does add a fair few polygons. So I might... Okay, what I'm going to try and do... Actually, I'm going to save that. Because I've learned. And then... I'm going to combine these, I think. Yeah, I think that's good. That's going to get rid of a lot of polygons. Because it's the whole loop. And when you when you start getting memed as the guy who's talking about poly count all the time, then maybe I should hold true to that belief. All right, cheers. Thanks for jumping in. catch you later. Ooh. That's a point. Yeah, nah, not important. Once again, the silhouette is the most important thing, so that wouldn't have actually made much of a difference. So I can sort of do that. This, I think, is kind of important. Kind of. Yeah, so I'll leave that. Cool. Do I want to do the same with that? Yes, I think I do. So what I'll probably do is, how would you say? I'm probably gonna be able to bake this pretty quickly. So I'll unwrap it and maybe do a quick example. I'm gonna use Substance Painter to bake this one though. I probably won't do this in Blender. Oops. Yeah. Alright, so we have our low poly. Excellent. Now, how can we... Let's get rid of those so we can look at what we're working with. Yep, looks good. Let's... How are we going to do this? So, that. Alright, let's mark that. Scene 1. Scene 2. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that one. Clear seam. Clear seam. And put it... no, that's actually... Mark seam. Mark seam. Actually, I'm going to put it there, I think. Mark seam. So, theoretically... Let's see what happens. Unwrap. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. What I might do though, because we want this to be sort of square as well, just in case people want to do a print. So I'm actually gonna do squares on squares, I think, just to improve that. So let's go here. Mark seam. Yeah. Actually, I might keep that, and then if they want to go down, they can. Yeah, that could work. Mark seam. Mark. And let's do this one as well. Ah, this is going to be on. There we go. Unwrap. Okay. Ah, we need to make sure that this is all transforms as well. No, that's fine. Okay, let's grab this one. This has got to go right up. Let's put that one there as well. Let's turn that off. Move them over there, move that over there. There. Cool. Begin. Put over there. Yeah. That works. Cool. So let us do a quick bake, and then I'll probably call it there for the day. So, right. So this is the low. So I can actually override that. So I'm going to rename that. Low. Yep. And then we're going to get all these ones. Close stack. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Close stack 5. High. Let that take a moment. Is it done? Maybe. Alright. Let's get Substance Painter involved. So this one, I'm going to save that. And, oh, no. We can... No, we can leave that. Because I think I saved it. So we can get rid of that. No. Maybe. Alright. Ah, didn't work. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, no, it did work. Okay. Sure. New. We need our low poly asset, which I called something close stack low. Yeah, not pretty sure that's it. Those can stay. Then we're going to bake at 2048 with our high polygon, which was this one, open, and see how that goes. Go. Okay, so the size is a bit wrong. Very wrong. That's weird. Let's try this again, shall we? Close stack, low. Yes. Cancel. Yeah. New. Try again. Close stack, low. Open. Ah, that's it. That's got smoothed. Cool. That's the one we're looking at. Alright, let's try again. Bake noise out. Close stack high. Open. 2048. Well, let's have a look. Okay, so it looks like there's some areas that do need to be sort of higher. But looks nice, I think. Alright, so let's try that again. And let's increase to 0.1, 0.1. Yeah, that's looking better. Okay. Stack shirts. The problem here is that. So maybe I want to change that. But for now, it'll do. So we're going to go to layers and we need fabric. So something looks, I think this one was good. And then we make it really small. So scale, kind of that looks good. Yeah. And then we change the color to white. And that would allow us to sort of change the color with the material in Unity. So if I can have red shirts, I can do other things like that. So that'd be kind of cool. Alright. So we have our stack of shirts. Let's save that. Export textures, sorry. Put that where it needs to go. Yeah, let's put it in here anyway. So clothes. Save those. Rename this to clothes stack 5. And try again. Universal render pipeline. 2048. Adjust in Unity as needed. Save settings. And then bake again. Cool. Done. Now, let us grab that information and put it in Mono. Nope. So we need the close stack, this one, And we need close stack low. So let's drag this into here. Grab those, put them in there. Rename. Nope. Ah. Fine. Now we need a new material. Let's just make a new material. Clothes stack 5. Albedo, which is white. Actually, probably don't even need that because it's white. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. Close stack metallic, which we do kind of need. Actually, no, we don't. The normal map, though, that's the one we definitely need. And fix. Then we need to... that doesn't have a thing. Okay, that's fine. Put that there. And then material. Cool. So once I have, well, what I could actually do is I could actually do that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put that. Where's in the assets? I think. Yep. There, and then I'm going to make that a prefab. There, original. And that allows me to I'm going to put that down a bit. Can we get away with 2? I'm never going to get that low. So maybe. These ones we can even go lower because it's on the floor. Cool. So let's do that. I'm also gonna grab 4 duplicate and put them over here. To see what they look like. Once again, I can hide a little bit. That's the wrong way around, so we actually want to do that. And move them a little bit back. And a little bit that way. Cool. Let's make some... Well, let's do this. I want to try something. So... that's all of them. Okay. That's unfortunate. Slightly darker red. And then we can drag that onto some of them. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of the picture there. Let's save that and give it a shot. See how we're looking. Nice. It's very much looking like a store, I'll say that much. Maybe reduce the metallic a bit because they look a bit shiny. But I can definitely easily do that. Cool. So I would probably make a bunch of different ones. So I'll make some hoodies and I'll make some pants and stuff like that. I'd like some shoes as well. So yeah, I got a few different options in regards to that, but it definitely adds a bit of color and a bit more life to the space, which is excellent. So yeah, that's a win in my books. All right, I'll be wrapping up there for today. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah. Yes, actually that's a very good point. I'm actually going to change these because, to be honest, like, I don't know, it's too American at the moment. So let's go black. And let's turn them a smoothness, maybe a little bit of shine. So 0.1 maybe. Yeah, that's much better. So yeah, good suggestion. Much better. Okay, cool. So we'll save that and we'll call that a day. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and catch you at the next stream. Happy building.